right, guys, today we are going to be pre-fishing with Alex and Seth. They're fishing the Sea Arc Invitational Tournament, and we're just taking off out of the creek today, looking for the new spot. Guys, what do y'all got on your mind? This will be published after the tournament, so what's happening on your mind today?
I think we're gonna look for some spots, some dragon spots, probably.
Dragon spots.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're...
Well, there's a lot of trash out here. What's up with that? Did the water come up?
Wow.
Well, see, the situations always change, guys, so you don't know. If you pre-fished yesterday and you caught fish, this could happen today, and your fish are disappeared. You got to find them again. So that's why Alex and them have fun fish up until today. Today they're going to put the grind on and
figure out where they are.
Figure out where they are.
Yeah, too many things change, you know, during the week. So if somebody's on fish today or yesterday, today'd be one thing, but you know, we've heard a lot of guys that've been on fish Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. By Friday and Saturday, that's all going to change, especially with the weather. So thunderstorms on Saturday, cold fronts on Wednesday. We're just going to put in the grind today and see what we can find out for Saturday.
All right, guys, hang tight. We're going to get to the first spot and we'll show you their technique. But whether we catch fish or not today, you're going to see how it's happening. Stay tuned. Guys, we have kind of landed in their first general area they want to fish, and I'm just going to let you know they've kind of pinpointed some stuff. We see fish on the scale. Guys, tell us what your plan is. We're going to drift, drag, throw an anchor at them, dynamite. What's happening?
We're going to drag. Yeah.
Drag?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll get started here. Man, look at the fish, guys. I think these fellas have got an idea of what they're doing.
Yeah, so we're going to look at some of these ledges, kind of mark some fish. We'll run a path. One thing, when we're dragging and we're pulling planer boards, we'll start putting together like a plan of, you know, maybe they're biting on this outside, so we'll notice maybe they're on top of the ledge, on the bottom side of the ledge, and then we can really start pinpointing the fish and kind of pulling tighter groups.
I guess we're going to find the spot within the spot and get started here shortly. All right, guys, I got some teamwork going on right here. Alex is getting this pinpointed on these. Look at the fish on that screen. Alex is getting them pinpointed.
Yeah.
And Seth is working back here trying to get the rods ready. It's teamwork is what it takes to win these tournaments nowadays, guys. What's your plans here?
So I just been kind of looking for these fish, kind of going in and out. If you look on here, it might be hard to see, but there's a little channel that goes here, and then here's this cove. So I'm kind of coming along and looking back and forth to see where the fish are kind of holding. It seems like they're holding in the deeper section. So we're gonna run that deep section. We'll have long lines out. We'll have some planer boards, get a good spread, see where we're gonna, you know, pick up some fish, and then kind of move and then really pinpoint them really hard, and stay on them.
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, if these fish are active, we ought to be able to pick up some nice fish.
Yeah.
Look at them, they're just all over that ledge.
And one thing I'll say too, just a tip for the new tournament anglers that might be, you know, starting to fish tournaments too. Like if you're dragging or really whatever you're doing, the more that both people can do anything in the boat at any moment is a huge advantage. Sometimes I see people have different specific roles they have in the boat. We try to cross train everything that each other does, so each person can really fill in. So that's important.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, it's a lot of the hottest teams out there, like the Massengills. They work good together.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have a team that works good together,
yeah,
good things happen.
It is. Yeah.
You see what I'm doing here? You're gonna get ready, you're gonna cut.
Got it.
And run that line.
Yeah, got it.
Can we back out of it so you can see? Is that good there?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, guys, what we're trying to do, we don't want to come up on top of this other angler here, so we've started our drift a little diagonally, but once we get them deployed, it'll all straighten up. We'll be right back on that ledge. So Seth's going to show you how to...
Yeah, so
what the rig is
we're setting it up, and Alex went down and actually dropped waypoints all along this ledge. He saw fish on the bottom side of the trough and kind of the top side, and really made a connected line. And we're going to go back and try to do that. And we're using a Minn Kota Altera right now, which actually has this this north button on it, which continues the heading. The one thing to watch out for though, if you are doing drifting, especially with wind that's got a crosswind, is there's an advanced and a legacy mode, and you want to really put it in the legacy mode, because when you get pushed off that drift line, you won't have the boat trying to always fight you to get back to that original line. It'll just continue. So just a little tip: if you got a trolling motor that's a Minn Kota, make sure it's in legacy mode if you're going to do this this dragging.
Good tip.
So first thing we're going to do is put out our planer board, because what we want to do is get the planer boards out first, and that'll actually you know, move the lines out and allow you to get the long lines without trying to tangle them.
Gotcha.
So that's important. So you just get it through the middle there, make sure your hook's exposed good. We use these line counters because that allows us to really control how far it is out there. So the first one I'm going to run out about 100, 120, and I will stagger everything, so making sure nothing is at the same distance, so when we make turns we're not going to ever hang anything up. But anywhere between 80 and 100 I like off the board as a starting point, just to see where it's at. And then if we get fish on a longer line, we'll start to adjust that way, because some days it makes a difference on how long the line's out.
And you're using mono for this, or is this
This is braid.
Braid?
Yeah. 80 and 100 pound braid. I've actually noticed not much difference between the 100 pound braid and the 80 pound braid as far as diameter.
Yeah, that's how we're clipping this board on here.
Yeah, so we run boards that don't come off, so we like to actually have the board come back and then unclip it. We're running offshore boards to just what we like.
That's a nice little technique to get it slung out away from the boat.
Yeah, just a little flip.
Now, how fast do you guys like to roll when you're dragging these baits?
All depends. Some days it's 0.4, some days they want it at 1.2.
So we're just going to test it today.
That 0.7, 0.8 is probably a good starting spot for dragging.
Now, during tournament day, how many rods are you guys allowed, and how many are you going to run?
We're allowed at 6, and we will run 6.
6 rods?
Yeah.
So we're going to suspend any of them?
Yeah, we'll probably suspend 2.
2?
Yeah, it's a lot of wind, so it's hard to run, you know, 4 boards and 2 long lines, and it's just a lot to manage when the weather gets.
So as far as the weather tomorrow, they are what are they calling for, Alex?
100% thunderstorms.
Oh, so it's going to change totally today.
Change totally, 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. We like thunderstorms. I think it for us, our strategy, we like to fish some hard stuff. It'll be rough out. We'll be dressed appropriately and prepared for it. So, and then on actually the dead stick thing, we do like running dead sticks, and sometimes we'll throw a bigger bait on the dead sticks. His biggest fish came off of a dead stick in a tournament, correct, Seth?
Yep.
Off this rod right here.
Oh yeah. So thunderstorms, rain, and wind. Not a great combination, but you guys tend to like it.
Yep.
Makes the fish bite a little better.
We think so.
All right, guys, they have got their rods deployed. It looks like we're using, uh-oh, we got one hitting the bottom there. We have got 2 planer boards on each side. Planer boards are, this planer board is 281 feet behind the boat. This one is 269 feet. Is that any reason why this is 20 feet less or more?
Yeah, because when we make turns, everything, I don't want anything like overlapping. So that's like after we get the 2 planer boards out, we put the long line, so that's 160, and this is 115. And then if we actually have to bring a planer board in, so instead of, because since we have these long lines out here, we even manage that, and then we'll take this that was the long line, hook that to the planer board, which brings that side out and allows then you to put the long line out again.
Gotcha.
So it's just helpful to always manage that you don't have a lot of overlap of
rod management's important in this.
Super important with dragging, or else if you tangle 3 of these, it's more time out of fishing. For us, it's more time out of the tournament. So,
well, dragging is a very good technique to catch these big catfish, but it can be frustrating at times, guys, when you get in snaggy areas where you are constantly breaking off. But that's why you need a team. A team helps.
Yep.
Tie the hooks, and yeah, it keeps it all in good shape. So
teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
That's right.
But now we're just going to go along about what you're remote say?
We're at
How fast?
0.6, and I've actually got the remote, since it's calm today, I have the remote set up to manage the speed for us. You can't really do that on really windy days, but
Right.
yeah, I get 0.7 actually.
0.7.
So, yeah, and then it'll change the trolling motor speed.
And what size sinkers are you using?
We are using 2 ounce, these pencil weights right here.
Pencil weights.
Yeah, these pencil, which is really just piano wire and a piece of lead.
I got you.
Yep.
Well, awesome. We're just gonna cruise at 0.7 mile an hour until something goes down.
Something happens.
So we got plenty of fish underneath of us. Just are they in the mood to bite? All right, guys, we're reeling them in. Our first drift. We've seen a lot of fish, but they just wasn't cooperating. So in tournament fishing, if they're not biting here, we got to find them somewhere. So they are going to relocate to a new spot.
Well,
That's the work about it, guys. Reeling these things up, taking the sinkers off, sliding down the river a little bit, getting them back out, putting them all back out. It is a job, but you gotta love it, guys.
those others are 1-on-1s. Yeah, I got you.
Run and gun till we find these fish.
Run and gun, baby. No?
Yeah, these guys are in grind mode. They're gonna find these fish. So hang tight. We'll get to the next spot. We'll figure it out.
You might find them. I don't make them bite.
That's right. That's the bad part. But you know, you ain't wanting to catch them today. You just want to locate them. I mean,
Yeah,
I think you guys have got. You're on some fish. I mean, they're all over the graph. It's just.
It's been cold for 2 or 3 days here.
Yeah.
And I think if these fish haven't been biting, it's going to get warmer tomorrow, and if we get a storm, that's a good sign.
Everything's down, locked up, ready to run. Where are we headed to now? Well, you can still see fish on that graph right now. You're leaving fish to find fish. Normally that's a bad thing, but we're leaving fish that are not biting. So
channel ledges and some deeper holes and humps, so we're just looking at that. You know, on the kind of leaving fish, like what we're ultimately trying to do is find 3 or 4 really good spots, because you never know in your tournament position taking off, you might pull up to your spot A that is your best spot and there's a boat on it, so you have to be ready to be, you know, be flexible. And that's part of the reason we're, you know, leaving fish to find more fish, because we want to stack up kind of an order of what we really like.
So yeah, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, so to say.
Yeah,
you want to have spot A, B, and C
Yep.
to fall back on.
And I'm going to be doing zigzags now, because we've found fish, you know, on these deeper flats. We've seen some on channel ledges, but I'll come down this and just do big S's to see what we see.
So you guys are not really worried about catching fish today. You're just more looking around, searching. But if we catch one, it's gonna be.
Yeah, I think some folks I see go out and actually, you know, just fish 1 or 2 spots on pre-fishing day, and I think it's more important to have a basket of spots, because you lose confidence if you're, you know, your first 2 spots, if you only have 2 and there's no fish on them, and then now you're trying to find and search new water on tournament day, and it's just. That can work sometimes, but it also can really stifle your confidence on tournament.
Exactly.
Especially the conditions going to be so much different tomorrow. 100% rain, thunderstorms, 10 to 20 mile an hour wind. So we might not be able to fish this spot tomorrow, depending on how the wind is. Could be really brutal to fish.
Right. All right. Well, I am seeing some fish over here, but not like we've seen out there, was it?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're just gonna, like I say, search around a little bit. Hang tight with us. We're just gonna show you a day in pre-fishing for a major tournament, catfish tournament. Hang tight. All right, guys, talk about some rod management. I don't know if you can see it or not, but look at the lines. We're making a twist. The wind's blowing us against the bank. We got drift socks out, holding us out, but we've got lines everywhere.
And this is fine. This happens a lot on these winds like this, because this will blow us into the bank. So I'm just pulling it forward and we're slipping this way. But it makes no difference, honestly, the way these are set up right now.
Yeah, so they're staggered. They're not going to crisscross because of that. But it's just, it looks gnarly from where we're at.
It does. When I first started doing this, I would always be trying to adjust this and like wasn't, you know, happy with this. But you'll go down a whole bank like this and you catch fish like this. It's not a big deal.
And I've seen them on the graph still.
Yeah.
We're on a search mission, guys. Looking for the big ones. They're trying to make a game plan for tomorrow.
It's like all interweaved.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they are scraping close to the bank too.
Oh, yeah.
Right at the bottom of that ledge.
And another thing to look at too is the way the wind's coming. So you can see the wind's actually coming against the boat this way.
Right.
So you always want to put your drift sock out on the side as the boat getting pulled away from, or else it'll get pulled into the drift sock. So you can see Alex is putting it on this side because we're naturally going to be fighting getting pulled into the bank because there's a bit of a crosswind.
Right. You just throw it out. It opens up like a parachute and slows the boat down.
Yeah, that worked great. And we'll run. Sometimes we'll run 260s. This is a 60-inch right here, a big one, depending on the waves.
Yeah, you can tell it already slowed the boat down.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful in the big waves with them, because 260s you'll start to bring, you get enough wind, you'll start to bring water over the back of the boat with them. So you just gotta watch yourself with the grip socks.
Right. All right, guys, we're running along the bank.
So we're down at 0.4 now.
0.4.
So that's good. So if we want to go higher, we can kick the trolling motor up a little and.
We've got fish. We're seeing the fish on the screen. We just got to wait for them to bite. We've had a major cold front come in last night. Yesterday, these guys were fishing. It was like, what, 75 degrees out here? 70?
Yeah.
And today it's in the low 50s. So it's a little chilly. Weather changes will make the fish do some crazy things too. So we'll see. Hang tight, guys, until we get a fish on. We'll get her figured out. Up. We're hooked up. Let me get back. Is that the planer board, or was that just the long line? Long line.
160.
160 foot back. I don't know. 12 foot, 11 foot.
He just hammered it.
Yeah, he did. You feel good?
Oh, he's swimming towards us now.
He coming right to the boat, ain't he? We ain't got the net available or nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
yeah, he's right to the boat.
Yeah, he is. He's a decent one.
Let's see how my net man is. Oh, there we go.
That's a 15, 20 pounder, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's got the skunk out of the boat. Oh yeah, he's a decent one. He ain't one you want during the tournament because he's too big.
Unless it's the first one.
Yeah, unless it's the first one, yeah. He's just too big for the under and not big enough for the over. But just good enough to get the skunk out of the boat.
Yeah, this is the rig, the long line.
Yeah, this is interesting too, guys, and we'll cover that. I'm gonna get them to do that too. They're not even putting knots in these things. They're crimping them. So,
you know, the biggest thing that we like about the crimps is you don't get that line memory. You know, when you tie that big knot, your line will kind of crimp up like that. So this is tough. We did some tests, hooked it up to the tractor bucket, leather gloves, pulled it. We were never breaking them at the crimps. So very impressed with the crimps. Makes it look like came from the factory.
Exactly.
So only one knot we do here. The rest is all crimp. We can show that later.
Yep.
Later on.
There we go.
There we go. 25.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's skinny fish, though, ain't he?
There we go.
Ooh, we're gonna release him, I guess.
Gonna release him. So first fish of the day.
And he hit that like he meant it too, didn't he?
He did. He smoked it. Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna bait them back up.
Bait them back up.
So we've been pulling for what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And caught that fish. So at least we know there's a few fish back here in this shallow stuff.
Well, we marked them a little bit on side scan. We could see that there were a few fish. I think just with maybe the cold front, maybe making them a little bit not wanting to bite as much as we'd like. But
yeah, we talked to some guy a while ago on the lake, and he said he had like almost 600 pounds of fish yesterday. And that had to have been a couple good 70s and 60s.
Yeah, I think his big fish was 68, so.
That's a lot of big fish in one day.
Yeah. And it takes time, you know, learning if they're after a small chunk, the head.
Right.
So we like to kind of, I don't know, what was this on?
It was on, I had small to medium.
Probably a small chunk on that fish there. Now we're gonna get this back out. We're gonna make sure on this Dakota that we're gonna click that counter and start down to 0.
Okay.
So then we're gonna know how far out.
And then when putting the long lines out, we always put the long one out first, and then put the shorter one out.
Right.
And then if we get a planer board that has a fish or that's fouled up, we'll actually take the long line and make that the planer board, which gives you room to then put your other long line out.
I got you.
So there's kind of some swap outs.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you're always trying to manage the distance, because if you don't, you get the whole thing hung up, and that's not a good day.
So you're just gonna put this bait out, let it hit the bottom.
Yep. So it's on the bottom right now. We're just dragging it.
Your boat's still motivating forward.
Yep.
And you're gonna put it to how many feet?
We're gonna probably do this one at 90. And we're gonna
feet.
keep them staggered, so when we turn, not all the baits coming together and getting tied up.
I think that was our long line, so I'd probably put that at 140, 160. And that allows, because we actually pulled in the other long line.
Did we ever determine how deep we are here? Or how deep that fish was? I couldn't see.
We caught him around 12 feet.
12 foot. All right. Well, the sun's coming out today, guys. It's a little warming up. It's warming up a little bit, so I didn't come prepared for this cold front, but I'm in it, and
at least the sun's finally out.
Yeah.
Do like 140.
Huh? Yeah. And then I'll do this one at about a buck.
I wonder if we were getting a few bites that were they were kind of not, you know, just mouthing on the bait.
Well, and we may, like I say, you have to feel what the fish want.
Yeah.
We may have to go down in small bait sizes to see if that helps.
I really
them too.
felt that we had a few bites on that. I mean,
we did, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, there was a few pecker bites, is what I call them.
Yeah.
But yeah, he slammed it. He was a real fish.
Yeah, he straightened it out pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, we have abandoned the shallow water bite. The wind's blowing out here on the main lake, but we're gonna try a whole new system. We're gonna drag upriver in some of these heavy swells and see what we can come up with. Again, using the same rig. What are we gonna call that rig? Santee Cooper?
Yeah,
modified Santee Cooper rig.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Still just using what, 3 ounces of weight?
I think these are twos.
Twos?
2s or 3s, yeah. Yeah, these are 2s.
Okay.
Yeah. Long enough line doesn't seem to matter too much. 2s, 3s. We go back and forth. Yeah, this one's a 3.
But it's white capping.
Really excel in big water.
Yeah, we're in some big water for sure.
What's your distance on that?
Lots of wind blowing.
We like the wind.
We like the wind. This is a good technique for a lot of wind.
that on the planer board?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
They come off? Nope.
No. You feel like you got some shoulders?
It's hard to tell with that board. With
We're up on Wheeler Lake. We got another fish hooked up. Alex is on the reel today.
we just want to keep good pressure on the planer board as we bring them in slow.
They got to double team it, guys. This is what a team looks like when we're working these. Great tournament team here. They've been fishing together for about 5 or 6 years, haven't they?
Yeah.
All right, he's loose. Oh,
Make the drag.
he's got some shoulders on him, don't he? Seth is getting the net ready.
Came unbuttoned, I think.
Uh-huh. Is he coming to the boat or did he come unbuttoned?
Unbuttoned.
He come unbuttoned. Oh, we grabbed our next. What we got here?
Yeah.
Come undone, did he?
How does it feel? I mean, it's a drag.
Well,
It happened.
it happened.
Oh, we got multiple ones? You don't lose them. How we go? It's okay.
We lost him?
We lost him.
Fish on!
Fish on!
Woo! It's rough out here, guys. Feet feel decent? No?
You got a fish?
Might have a little weight. We'll see. Yeah, I got a fish. That number 5 planer board rod's doing some odd stuff too.
Planer board rod's working a little bit. Do we need to turn the boat a little bit? Or
You need me to run the boat? You got the remote?
Well, we should be okay. As long as we're still in the center of the channel.
Seth has got a fish on.
Small.
well, we've struggled today, guys. But we've had a big fish on. He kind of unbuttoned. Is that another channel cat or blue?
It's a blue. Small blue, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna bill dance him, huh?
Can you just get a picture?
Huh?
Get a picture with you? With it? Hold on, one more. Hold on. Okay. Smile big. Whoa!
Woo!
That's a good one.
It ain't rough here, fellas.
Alex, I think you might be snag. Yeah, that might be a fish. I don't know. That's been doing weird stuff this whole time.
All right, folks, I guess we'll just wrap it up. We got to go, but appreciate you watching our show. We want to thank Seth McCallister and Alex Nagy for taking me out fishing today. I've had some fun. So until then, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.